this game, so that means his build order is already working a little bit better than before. And, ooh, very strong transition by Minigun, spawning in the proxy position. Looks like Machine is in the north as the blue Zerg, and on the right half of the map, we have Root Gaming's Minigun as the red Protoss. You know, these positions I don't actually think are that bad for Zerg. Generally, Zergs like to say the closer, the worse, the farther, the better. But in these spots, you're close by air, so Mutilus Cuirass is a little easier. Right. But you can also expand away from your opponent. It's very similar to a map like Scrap Station. So again, I think Machine's going to be still quite in a bit of a comfort zone.
Yeah, you know, it's something definitely everyone needs to consider because, you know, one of the worst situations is when you're fighting for that gold. You've spawned positions both on the same side, and then that third is kind of just not there. Makes it much more difficult to fight for that third. And in this case, can defend a lot better as long as you're holding on to your tower and etc. And so curious to see what Minigun is going to have in store for us. Kind of like the Void Ray play early on, handled it to good effect here. And now we are going to see the probe of Minigun go around and be like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and check this observer. But what we see a lot of Zergs do nowadays is send the far position first and then send second Overlord on to that close position. He'll still find out the information he'll need, and he gets to trick that probe early on.
Yeah, the big reason Machine likes to do this is that he hates dealing with some sort of proxy gateway that could be going on at the front of this left base. So he wants to check the close positions, the overall worst positions for himself first. There's the probe passing by the Overlord. Already, Machine knows exactly where his opponent is as a result of this Overlord on the right, and it looks like Machine now gearing up to do some sort of early expand, sending 2 drones as well. But is he going to get blocked again? Minigun doesn't quite have enough money. He's at around 50 minerals. Let's see if he'll end up throwing down that second pylon in a row.
Yeah, I really like that. The one drone had already come back for this day, and then the second drone, knowing where his opponent was thanks to that Overlord, went ahead and just decided to fight that fight. He knew that that probe was going directly there, and this time Machine was able to use that nice timing to get that probe out of there and put his hatch down. So his pool is done. He did still have to get that down, but he is going to get that down much earlier. You recalled last time it was about 4:30 on the clock, and he's managed to do it. Gateway on the front for the Protoss, Cybernetics Core halfway done.
Yeah, I'm real interested by the fact that Minigun has not gone for any sort of early expand. No pylons have been built below his ramp in either of these games. And honestly, Shakura's Plateau and Lost Temple are 2 of those like canonical, always early expand in all matchups Protoss map. So I'm a little surprised to see Minigun doing this. Again, he is definitely taking advantage of it as in the last game going for the Void Ray. In this game, we see him hasn't really committed to anything yet, just adding on another pylon, opening up with the Stalker Zealot mix. Very good for early aggression, but still a little bit unusual for Minigun, especially considering he hasn't taken that second gas geyser yet.
Yeah, he did start his warp gate research. No additional gateways down quite yet. We've got a drone transfer over here for Machine just as the hatchery finishes. Second queen on the way as well. So he's got to be feeling really good about his timings, right on top of everywhere where he wants to be. He did have a couple couple Zerglings out, but again, as you mentioned, that nice little Zealot Stalker mix that you can get out early will do a little bit of damage. We do have a spine crawler going down here at the natural, but I think he's actually going to get here before that is even close to being done, so he'll have to be careful here in this battle.
Such a great push. I love the 1 Stalker, 1 Zealot push. Look at this, already going directly for the Queen, starting to do damage to the Spine Crawler. This is exactly what he wants. He's trying to pull those drones into a more vulnerable position, make them come to the units, and now he's going to go back and target fire the Spine Crawler. Over-committing to the Spine Crawler a little bit, taking a lot of damage. Ooh, both of those in the orange health, but Machine was dented just a bit. We do see that 2 more gateways coming out by Root Gaming's Minigun, but interestingly, no second gas at all. There's the Nexus going down. Almost universally, you see double gas coming up, so that way the player can build a lot of sentries. But no, look at Minigun continuing to push with Stalkers and Zealots. This might be a very new style of PvZ.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. He wants to kind of keep a low gas. He's opened up his warp gates now. We'll see what actually gets warped in. He's going to throw another gateway down here next to his Nexus. And meanwhile, over on the production side, a Roach Warren and Lair is going up for Machine. He is, pretty much just continuing on. He has 2 gases going in his main and not really too worried about an impending attack or anything to that effect. He's also got that Overlord lord over by the expansion, so he knows exactly the type of army. Now, despite being really gassed, and there we do have the second gas going down, 3 sentries do come out, and against the heavy bunch of roaches, this could be interesting to see what he'll do on this push.
This is an extremely interesting style by Minigun. It's so close to what everyone does. You know, everyone always goes 3 gateway with 2 gas and then gets 1 zealot and like 7 sentries and then pushes with that. But look at this mix that we're seeing from Minigun. Just 3 sentries, but then a lot more of those power meaty units, the zealots and the stalkers, and in addition, 2 more warp gates. Who's going to be able to 5-gate push quite quickly. Only 1 assimilator at the expansion. Generally, that's a sign of a really good player who knows how to play with 3 geysers. So I'm very excited to see how he's going to be pushing in the mid game.
We do have Goliath Reconstitution and Burrow going down for Machine here, getting some more roaches to add to his bunch here. Zergling's working on the gold to see if he can quickly take that third. Now over on Minigun side, he is going to move out just a little bit here. 3 sentries, 2 zealots, and 5 stalkers complementing that little army out here. And look at this, just as he runs out, a little Zergling runs out to Xel'Naga Tower, it will see that entire army, and we could see a push here. 4 more roaches coming out here for Machine, and he does have the spine crawler to defend.
And we do see that Burrow is about 85% done. He's advancing forward. He's going to try to get up to the spine crawler. He needs to throw down force fields fast if he wants to cut that in half. But it looks like a lot of roaches. Oh, completely cutting them off, and at just the wrong time. We're going to see Burrow finish in just a moment. The Queen does fall, so that is a little bit of a boost there for Minigun, but I don't think Machine has any intention of beginning the Burrow micro yet, as he is just happy having a lot of roaches that have speed, easily running forward, burrowing those weakened ones, hasn't even lost any roaches yet. Oop, gotta be careful, Minigun. You're sitting right next to the burrowed roaches, Minigun. Back up. Oh, almost gave me a heart attack there.
Oh, and a ton more roaches coming up to fend this little thing off. They're going to go after the pylon. No, shift their attention to stalkers. Yes, go back to the pylon there. As quick to thinking now, the roaches are moving forward, all of them almost in the fullest of green health. And a nice push here as more stalkers are going to be put in. Gosh, he could do some serious damage right here. We'll see what he's going to go for. Goes after that pylon right away, working him back. More stalkers coming in. Now just picking away at them as he slowly starts to move into his opponent's base. He sees the forge go down as well. More stalkers coming in to reinforce, and he has made his way well into the expansion.
What amazing timing there by Machine. It looked like he was on the verge of defeat, and suddenly 40 roaches, and now he's sprinting forward, going directly for that mineral line, picking off probes. Only stalkers out right now for Minigun, but no detection at all. We don't see any Robo-Bay in the slightest. So Machine burrows. He's just going to get recharged on life. It's like playing an Xbox game. You can't die. There's the good game.